So after all the necessary planning, organizing, and stuffing, the organization is in place. Management now get things done by the way of leading the subordinates. So leading ensures that the subordinates carry out duties as required. So the learning objectives of this topic is first to discuss the nature of leading, second differentiate leading to managing, third identify the various theories and motivation, and fourth differentiate styles of leadership. So what do you mean by the word leading? So when we say leading, it is the process of influencing people so that they will contribute to the goals of the organization. Therefore, leading involves guiding, inspiring, and directing people so that they can accomplish the goals and objectives of the organization. So, if leading is done well, the environment of work in an organization is efficiently and effectively done. So, another is that leading is to lead, to influence, to guide, and to motivate. So the function of leading influences subordinates or employees and motivates them into meeting the organization's goal. After giving people orders on how things are supposed to be done, it is essential that it is ensured that the orders are carried out as planned. So leading uh, leading is a continuous function of the management. Therefore, management must supervise and guide his subordinates at all times for work to go as planned. So he should not stop giving orders and instruction but should follow this through. So uh, the poor leading function can lead to spoiling or ruining an otherwise good planning in meeting the goals and objectives of the organization. So I have here the definition between the leading and managing. So leading inspires change and managing manages transformation. So if you are a leader, you must set direction and inspire people to follow, and the manager's job is to oversee the work needed to implement the necessary changes and the direction set by the leaders. Next is leader requires vision on what the business is to become, and managers must have the willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve the goals set by the leaders. Next is leader requires imagination by cultivating the imagination of the subordinates to inform them their vision. And manager must have to understand that vision drive their teams to do the specific work necessary to accomplish what has been expressed by the leaders. Next is leader has the ability to articulate by describing their vision in vivid and understandable detail. So to engage and inspire the organization and pursue it. And the manager has the ability to interpret by explaining the stated vision in which their teams can understand and embrace it. Okay? And a leader must sell their vision to their organization and its stakeholders, and the manager must have or must be able to teach their teams what must be learned and adopted to attain the stated vision. Next is a leader must understand the business environment outside the external environment, and the manager is on to figure out how to get things done using the resources available to the business. Um, or basically, managing it is more on the internal managing of the business. A leader will take the educated risk or risk taking when setting the strategic directions, instructions, or rules for the business. And the managers must have the self discipline to stick to the plan for implementing and realizing the strategic direction, rules, and instructions set by the leaders. And finally, leaders must consider the impact of their decisions on the whole organization. So when we say leader, it is mostly on the whole organization. Therefore, it is a huge responsibility. And the managers must ensure that their teams are prepared to deliver and that each member is equipped to do what is required for them and for to the success of the organization. So meaning, or in this case, we can see that leading and managing are both helping each other out or both helping the organization in different ways. So they are helping each other out in implementing such rules, goals, and objectives, and even visions of the organization. And with proper leading and managing of the organization, this can lead to the sound environment within the work and to the success of the business or the organization. So, when we say motivation at work, it is important to know that the motivation is not the only influence to personal performance level. So, the other factors that influence how well a person performs in a given situation are the individual's abilities and the individual's understanding of what behaviors are necessary in order to achieve a high performance. So, which can be called as role perception. So, when we say role perception, it is your potential behavior to accomplish your task. Or simply, it is the necessary behavior that you need to accomplish your task. So, for you to have a high performance or for you to work well, you need the motivation and ability roles perception. Okay? So, the relationship per performance can be seen in this formula. So, performance equals ability, motivation, and ability roles perception. Meaning, if one factor has a low value, performance value is likely to be low. And even if others are high. For example, estudyante ka, para magkaroon ka ng mataas na performance, you need to be motivated. Kailangan motivated ka. Alam mo yung may motivation ka para mag-aral. And when we say roles perception, ano ba yung ugaling dapat na meron ka para ma-accomplish mo yung task at work? Okay, for example, dapat masipag ka, dapat lagi kang nagre-recite, dapat lagi kang sumasagot, lagi ka nagpapasa on time. So, ano pa bang mga behavior? Dapat lagi ka masaya, ano pa? So, those are the roles perception. So, if you are motivated and if you have a good roles perception, meaning magkakaroon ka ng high performance. So, I have here theories of motivation. So, first theories of motivation is the process theories, or how and by what goals make individuals motivated. So, individuals might see a strong possibility of receiving some reward, let's say salary increase, if they act in a certain way, such as by working hard. So, this reward will become an incentive or motive for their behavior. So, for instance, if the individual expects that meeting a deadline will earn praises from superiors and not meeting deadlines will earn disapproval. Therefore, that individual will prefer praises. Okay? And then the individual will be motivated to meet the deadline. For example, for you to better understand, for example, you as a student, ano ba yung mga motivation mo? Ano ba yung mga incentive mo para mag-aral kang mabuti? For example, kapag nag-aral ako mabuti, magkakaroon ako ng mataas na grades. Meaning, yung mataas na grades, that is your incentive. That is your motivation. Another, kapag mataas yung grades ko naman, let's say mataas yung grades ko, bibigyan ako ng mataas na allowance ng parents ko. Okay? So, meaning, yung motivation mo naman ngayon is yung mataas na allowance na ibibigay ng parents mo. Okay? So, that is the process theories. And when we say reinforcement theories, combination of rewards or punishment is used to reinforce desired behavior or extinguish unwanted behavior. So, in terms of reinforcement theories, these theories do not utilize the concept of motive or a process of motivation. Instead, they deal with how the consequences of a past action influence future action. For example, ito wala na itong motivation. For example, na-late ka ng pasa ng project mo. So, hindi ka umabot sa deadline. Nagkaroon ka ng mababang grade. So, dahil nagkaroon ka ng mababang grade, naapektuhan yung behavior mo nun. Kaya ikaw, natuto ka na sa susunod, nung kapasa ko on time. So, that is reinforcement. Nakakaapekto yung nangyari sa'yo nung nakaraan sa mga gagawin mo sa present. Okay? Okay, so I have here leadership styles such as the autocratic, democratic, laissez-faire, charismatic, and servant. First, we have here the autocratic or authoritarian leader. So when we say autocratic or authoritarian leader, given the power to make decisions alone, having total authority, and closely supervises and controls people when they perform certain tasks. Autocratic leaders make decisions without consulting their teams. This style of leadership is considered appropriate when decisions need to be made quickly, and when there's no need for input from others, and when the team agreement is not necessary for the successful outcome. Next is the democratic or participative leader. It includes one or more people in the decision-making process of determining what to do and how to do it, and maintains the final decision-making authority. So democratic leaders, they allow the team to provide input before making decision, although the degree of input can vary from leader to leader. So this style is important when team agreement matters, but it can be difficult to manage when there are a lot of different perspectives and ideas. Next is the laissez-faire or delegative leader. It allows people to make their own decisions. Leader is still responsible for the decisions that are made. This style allows greater freedom and responsibility for people. However, of course, you need competent people around you or nothing will get done. So, laissez-faire is a French phrase meaning let do. Simply, when we say laissez-faire, leaders don't interfere. They allow people within the team to make many decisions. So this works well when the team is highly capable and is highly motivated and doesn't need close supervision. However, of course, leader is still responsible for the decisions that are made. Next is the charismatic leader. Charismatic leader leads by creating energy and eagerness in people. Leader is well liked and inspires people and appeals to people's emotional side. So charismatic leaders works on the charisma of the leader. And charismatic leader, they are mostly motivating their people on how things should be done. Lastly is the servant leader. The highest priority of this leader is to encourage, support, and enable people to fulfill their full potential and abilities, helps people achieve their goals, and works for the people. So, servant leaders focuses simply on what the peoples need. So, we're done discussing about the nature and definition of leading, the difference between leading and managing, theories of motivation, and lastly, the leadership style. So, if you have questions or clarifications regarding our topic for today, feel free to post your comments on the comment down below or in our Edmodo class. Thank you.